The TripleM Grill Team podcast, introducing Amore at Macca's. Pick a meal and then add 2 sides from a range of choices. That's Amore.
Triple M's Grill Team.
Holy crap!
The following program is based on speculation and conjecture. Here we go. Welcome. This is the Triple M Grill Team podcast. Leave a message for the guys at triplem.com.au.
Hey, good morning, everyone. How are we today?
Good morning.
Fantastic.
Yeah, going pretty good. And I suppose the big news yesterday, as we were driving home, was the sentencing of Simon Catani. Just to remind ourselves, Simon Catani murdered his fiancée, Lisa Harum. He threw her off his high-rise balcony. And for such a murder, I must say, fellas, I was expecting him a minimum of 30 years.
Wow.
Catani, he has a history of criminal activity, history of violence. Again, let's remind ourselves, he almost bit a policeman's ear off, took a piece out of a policeman's ear, like a 50-cent piece. Lisa Harum saw her murder coming without a shadow of a doubt. You saw her on the special on Sunday night. She actually emailed her mother to say that if something happens to me, here's the number of my counsellor. And said, I want you to call her immediately. She kept saying to her mum, make sure you get the details right. She saw her murder coming, and her fears were realised because not long after that, Catani threw Lisa off a balcony to her death. Now, yesterday, Simon Catani was sentenced, and he's going to be up for parole in 18 years. Now, in my opinion, he got off light, I think, at 18 years. Amazingly, he thinks it's too harsh and may appeal the sentence. Well, I hope the DPP appeals the sentence and goes for more. But we're going to talk about that after 8 o'clock. And I love the opinions of MG and Gus and Pagey. And we'd love your opinion, Sydney, on the Simon Catani sentence yesterday.
Yeah, 133353. Give us a buzz. In a minute, boys, we're going to give away Boss tickets with your guesses as good as mine. Joe Hildebrand's going to stop by later on. We've got an insider, a cabbie insider, to tell us all about what goes in and around cab drivings and how they smell. And my favourite man, my dad, J.A. He's on after 8 o'clock today, so stay tuned. Massive show.
Oh,
terrific.
Jamie Angel.
Can't wait to hear Jamie Angel. He's also
I think he's got some good words to say about you today. I think he's in a good mood.
Yeah, he was in a positive mood yesterday. He had some really good things to say about you.
Oh, I'm looking forward to hearing that.
It's a big show. The
I
Grill
think he
Team
said something like rub.
with Gus, MG and Matty Johns.
No, sorry, it was grub.
Oh.
Sorry. You know, there's an old saying, if you want to laugh, go to Denmark. And this is a dead set
Sorry,
doozy.
what did you just say?
Haven't you heard that
There's
before?
an old saying.
There's an old saying, if you want to have a good laugh, go to Denmark.
Yeah, it's all.
I've never heard that
I think
before.
my uncle used to
It's
say
in the
that.
chestnut.
Did he really? Did he? I'd like to meet your uncle. Copenhagen Zoo, guys. Hell of a place. Has sparked outrage as it put down a young giraffe, then chopped it up and fed it to the lions as visitors, including young kids, looked on. The 18-year-old giraffe called Marius was put down with a bolt gun after being anaesthetised. The Danish zoo said the action was necessary to prevent inbreeding. Well, we don't want that. Copenhagen Zoo did not want to give giraffes contraceptives or castrate them. Well, that's brutal castration. Cutting off an old fella is never fun.
Give me the
It's
bolt
better
gun
than
any
getting
day.
killed and having yourself chopped up.
A couple of the kids were taken away and were actually distraught afterwards. And the thing that I want to ask you guys is
Absolutely 100% not funny, Matthew.
tell you what, look at the size of the jaws on that line.
Mate, so they chopped up the giraffe in front of a whole heap of people, including kids, and then chucked it. It's a photograph right there.
They showed the
MG. They then chucked they just chucked the pieces of giraffe into the lion's den, and the lion's den's hoovering it, and they're saying they didn't want it castrated or anything because that was a bit harsh. So let's just kill him and feed it to the lions. That's disgraceful.
MG, before you pass, Jason, may I remind you of an old saying, the circle of life? Hakuna
100%.
Matata.
Mate, my favourite movie, The Lion King, and that's an on-the-spot biology exam for them kids. They know now. You know how science is the worst subject ever? They've gone to the zoo and they've got a biology test right in front of them. There you
That's
go.
right.
That's a biology
I'll tell you what,
test.
it's a very, very good lesson to young kids about the dangers of inbreeding.
Copenhagen Zoo should be shut down and fined for that. That's a disgrace.
I tell you what, they should put you down and feed you to the lions.
I wish I'd seen a giraffe being fed to lions when I was at school.
Yeah,
I don't believe me, you're sick enough. You didn't need that experience as well,
We've got
Paige. You
Robert
didn't even give me the
Penrith.
tip.
G'day, Rob. How you doing?
Hey, I'm pretty good, boys. How are you?
Mate, top of the morning to you. Feel better. Mate, what do you think about this one? Funny or not?
Humorous a little bit, but not so much funny because what's behind it.
Thank you very much, Robert. Thank God for that.
What's behind it?
Well, the fact...
I think it was pretty straightforward. They chopped up the giraffe and they fed it to the lions.
And so so a lion wouldn't be behind it.
Oh, behave yourself.
We're Richie in Richmond. Hey, Richie.
Morning, boys. I think it's absolutely hilarious. He's the king of the jungle. You've got to look after him like a king. I think the guy from Illinois Heights has probably eaten a few endangered species in his day.
100%. Isn't it funny, Richie, that he eats cows, he eats chickens,
kangaroos.
He eats you know what? There's a little calf. Gone. Sits on your cheesies. Yeah. There you go. You don't think that, mate? That's outrageous. Adrian and Bondi. G'day, Adrian. How you doing, brother?
Morning, Grillers. How we doing?
What do you think? That particularly funny, Bone?
Mate, sorry to disappoint you, Matty, but probably not too funny.
Thank you. Oh, thank God. 2-1 against you, Johns. I love it.
Well, okay, just hold your fire there, Gus. We've got Josh from Wollongong. If I know anything about people from Wollongong, I think you might think this is funny. Hey, Josh.
How you going?
Hey,
Josh, mate, what do you reckon, son?
Mate, it's funny. Gus, you need to man up.
Yeah.
How is a giraffe being chopped up in front of kids and fed to the lion funny, Josh?
It's the circle of life, mate. The king needs to eat.
100%.
Hakuna Matata.
They're in a zoo. The king could eat whatever he wanted. Didn't have to chop a bloody giraffe up.
Mate, Timon and you'll look alike Pumbaa. That's what they said, mate. The circle of life, Hakuna Matata, ain't no passing phrase. Cos.
There you go. We're 50-50 on the phone. A bit divided in here, but probably funny just wins out. Maybe it's a little bit funny.
You're sick, mind.
Thanks for playing.
On that, we went and saw Wolf Creek 2 yesterday, Paige, didn't we? I tell you what, if you like things being cut up, you'll love Wolf Creek 2.
The Grill Team.
We here at the Grill Team think the figure skating at the Winter Olympics is fantastic.
Flawless. Simply flawless.
But we're not sure what number to call to vote them off the show. Plus, not many of them are Australian celebrities. What's going on? Triple M Breakfast.
It's 6:34 on the Grill Team. Joe Hildebrand from Triple M's new drive show, The One Percenters, and of course Channel 10 joins us at 7 o'clock this morning. But right now...
Check the tweets. Check the tweets. Check the tweets.
Checking your tweets into us at Grill Team if you want to get us on Twitter for absolutely anything. Someone's tweeted us a story today saying the Hills District apparently has the worst mobile reception in Sydney. Bruce in Mount Annan says he has to go outside to make phone calls. Mark says it's really bad in Stanhope Gardens. And Steve says the whole of Sydney has bad reception. Driving from Parramatta to the city, his phone drops out in 3 spots.
Oh, it depends on your...
Do you find this?
On your carrier, I suppose. Who you've got.
Does it make any impact on your service, how many people are using in the area?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Well, when you go to a concert and things like that, sometimes it dies.
Wakehurst Parkway for us, Matty, down our way. I always drop out. Optus always drops out at Wakehurst Parkway.
It's hard to believe after all this time there's still black spots.
What about the ads on telly saying we cover 99% of blah, blah, blah? That's a load of you-know-what too.
What's the latest with the NBN?
Sorry? Okay, let's go to the next one.
But you're asking us that question?
Get on with it.
At Grill Team, Ask Men has, the website has tweeted the most desirable female list of 2014.
Ooh.
A couple of notables. Now, only in at number 99 was Miley Cyrus. She only just made it.
She shouldn't have.
Run through a few of the top 10 here. Number 9, Margot Robbie, the Australian from Wolf of Wall Street.
She's most refreshing.
No arguments there.
Who's the top 5?
Number 5, Emma Watson from Harry Potter.
No.
See, I don't feel right because
No, but she
was too young.
Girls Next Door, now she's sweet as a nut. Ready to go.
Yeah. Helen Mirren, number 4.
Ellen number 3.
That's thinking man's crumpet, that.
Number 4, Academy Award winner Jennifer Lawrence from Silver Linings Playbook.
Nice.
And, she's in the new X-Men as well.
Pretty girl.
You know what? She's got crazy eyes.
Yeah.
She's got crazy eyes.
You reckon she'd be
she's got
Bunny
crazy
Boiler?
eyes.
We don't have to marry
her.
her.
Nose, there's the bridge of her nose near her eyes is too wide. Like her eyes are too far apart.
Sorry, Tom Cruise.
No, I'm just saying.
If you
I look at people whose nose between their eyes is wide and I go, psycho. And I looked at her, first time I saw her in Silver Linings Playbook, I went, that's a crazy one.
Her name in Hunger Games suits are Katniss.
Katniss.
Yeah,
that is hot.
Good name.
Number 3 was Emily Ratajkowski. I don't know if I'm saying that right. She's from Blurred Lines, the video. You know, there's two.
Yes.
Tops
very good
on and
dancer.
tops off
Fair
version.
play.
And
very talented.
Robin Thicke's all right as well.
Thanks,
we're
Tom
talking
Cruise.
about girls, mate.
Number 2, Alison Brie from Mad Men. No. I don't even know who she is.
No, I had no idea.
Scarlett Johansson, number 1.
Number 1, Amelia Clark from Game of Thrones.
That's silly.
Yeah, I watch games.
That's the worst
I'm
top
catching
5.
up
That's
at the
the
moment.
worst top 5 ever.
Oh,
I didn't write it.
really?
Yeah, it is.
No.
It's Cyndi Lauper.
Yeah.
Oh.
I love the way you tweeted. Your tweetie. It's time to check the tweets.
At The Doctor has tweeted us, "Hey, Grill Team, listen to the Jamie Oliver interview on the project and wants to know if anyone on the Grill Team has had any similar kitchen accidents." Here's what Jamie Oliver said.
Jamie, Valentine's Day is just around the corner. What can somebody who's not great in the kitchen cook for their partner that can't go wrong?
Definitely cook something fresh and wholesome and delicious. Nothing too heavy, because you're going to want to be acrobatic a little bit later. Do something you've done before, but just do it better. And definitely cook the meal with clothes on, because I tried to do it romantically naked once, and I ended up burning my penis.
That's too much information, Jamie.
We're really that type of show.
On Sunday.
Any pictures of him?
I think he's a goose.
I was cooking eggs and bacon on Sunday.
Oh, here we go.
And I was just wearing a pair of boxer shorts. Right?
Yeah, a bit too tight for you, were they? Like Jack's pants?
No, they were my pants, but they were extra large, not double XL.
Okay.
I'm trying to sneak in a slightly less as I'm losing a bit of weight.
Trying to kid yourself.
And I had a lot of fat land in and around, and believe me, that hurts.
And the webbing mosquitoes poking
Hang on, just stop a sec. So,
on my chest hairs and stuff, the bobbling fat
the
from
fat
the
was
bacon.
hitting you.
I
bet you. Just hold on a second, Pacey. I bet you when the bubbling fat was hitting your nipples, you would have absolutely loved that.
Yeah, he's doing He was doing star jumps.
Oh, yeah. I just kept putting more bacon on that. Yeah, give us a call on 133353 if this happens to you. Last night, I'm sitting down on my lounge watching a bit of telly.
Yep.
I've got my phone next to me and I see a little beep, beep, pops up, little text message. Who's it from?
Old girlfriend?
It's from my son. I'm thinking, my son is upstairs.
Oh.
So he's texted me from upstairs to downstairs. I look at the text and it says, when's dinner? No question mark, no g'day dad, just when's dinner? Yeah. I went, dinner's in about, I shouted back to him, dinner's in about half an hour. Don't text me. If you want to talk to me, come downstairs.
Yeah, you didn't have to take you shouldn't take your belt off.
That was terrifying the way you yelled.
I didn't.
But you know what, Gussie, in all seriousness, it's a natural phenomenon.
I get another text going, I was just asking.
Yeah.
Oh.
They're taking the pee, aren't they?
Aren't they?
Well, it happens in my house. The two oldest kids are upstairs and they do the same. I think a lot of people do. A lot of kids do.
Well, two options.
It's not right, though, is it?
It's not right.
Well, it's not right, but in my opinion, there's two serious possibilities here. Number one, it's monkey see, monkey do. There you laying down like a big pavlova, just spread it all over. You're watching your cricket or watching Pakistan versus Sri Lanka or UAE or something like that. And all of a sudden, he's starting to pick up those habits of you, getting lazy. Or the other thing, he's just bloody terrified of you, mate. That could be the thing.
We are a product of our maker.
You know what? I mean, maybe we are, and maybe this will give us some insight because someone has just called through. You asked for calls, Gussie. It's a Kalara number.
Oh, beautiful.
On the line, we've got Gus's mum, Janelle.
Oh, good morning, Millie. How are you, beautiful woman?
Hello, Sex Panther. I was just listening along in stitches to my no-good son talking about his son, texting him inside the house.
Mum, why is that funny?
Oh, there he is, the patron saint of smut. I was just laughing because I know where Jack's coming from. I hate talking to you in person as well. Boys, I used to send Gus faxes to his bedroom from the kitchen just to avoid seeing that big sweaty embarrassment of a face.
Oh, Mum, that's not even true.
Yes, it is, you pest. People who haven't met Angus don't realise his breath smells like an open sewer. When he ate that pickled herring, you know, the surströmming last year, it was actually improvement. Even his new father, Lone Wolf, wants nothing to do with him. Here, I'll prove it to you. Lone Wolf, it's Angus. He wants to say hello on the phone. You tell that to go get there you go. You know you're a grub when a 50-year-old biker who's cooking meth thinks you're an undesirable.
Shane Warne, boys, he is writing a song.
Oof.
Warney is writing a song. He said yesterday that he's been asked by a very famous musician, and I have found out overnight that is actually Chris Martin from Coldplay.
Yeah, big cricket fan.
Yeah, loves his cricket, loves Warney, so that's the link.
Well, he's a flea.
And Warney has said, who's a flea?
Chris Martin.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that doesn't matter. He's a good songwriter, right? And he knows what he's doing with Coldplay.
That's questionable.
They call the kid
The
Apple,
song's
mate. Come on.
basically about life. Warnie said. I'm just putting it down, which I imagine he's writing the lyrics at the moment.
Industry talk.
It could be absolute rubbish.
You're right there,
but I'm
Warnie.
trying.
Yeah.
I'm having a go. And that's what Warnie's all about.
Well-
And you know what? You think In Excess is a big deal. You wait until Warnie starts hitting the charts.
Well, I've had a bit of insight to what the song's going to be called.
Yeah.
What's it going to be called?
I've had so much Botox, my forehead doesn't budge.
Yeah, that's a great name.
Apparently they're having a bit of trouble making it rhyme.
You know
That's a
who might sing-
clunky, it's a clunky title.
You know who might sing that? Plastic Bertram. Because he is plastic. Anyway, I will.
It's one of the greats of Australian cricket. Just
the song.
I'll tell you what, he was the second best spinner.
Yeah.
The third best. Dutchie Holland was one.
Yeah.
Peter Stuart McGill was two.
Peter Taylor.
Maybe Peter, I'd say four.
Have you been breathalyzed today?
Yeah,
because you are talking nonsense.
I've got. You bring up a good topic about what should the song be called.
Thank you, Mark.
I think a song. Look, it's a natural for me. He should remake this.
Carly
You
Simon.
probably think this song
It's a bit of
is
chocolate
about-
starship.
Yeah, the chocolate starfish.
I was going to say starship. Actually, where are those blokes? The lead singer died.
Yeah,
The
poor
chocolate
bugger.
starfish.
Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's,
Anyway, mate, rest in peace, old mate.
There's
That's
a
a
bit
little
of a
morbid.
with that comes a bit of a word of warning for Warnie. Because
What, celebrities doing songs?
Well, more importantly, sportsmen who have tried to, sing their way out of something and
the crossover.
they've failed. Let's go firstly to our big mate, Jay Stevens, when he was in Joseph and the Technicolor Dream.
Oh, here we go.
Well, I was wandering along by the banks of the river when 7 fat cows came out of the Nile. And right behind these fine, healthy animals were 7 of the cows, skinny and vile.
You had enough of that?
Yeah, put him to sleep.
Love you, Steve O, but that's
Might
not
have
your
been
best work,
Mate,
Chance.
sound like 8 cows.
One of our fastest bowlers of all time, who had a big hit in India with this song. Bit of an ear burner here, but go to Brett Lee.
Can you tell a girl you don't know that you're the one for me? Wow. Do you walk right up or play it cool or simply let it be?
Hey, that went number 2 in India. 300 million copies sold.
Yeah. He made 20 rupee for it.
He made more than that.
A
He
bloke
makes
who
more
was
than his lifetime you do in a year.
a big AFL boy back in the 80s was Mark Jacko Jackson. Well, he had a big hit with this song.
He was the Energizer Man too,
Yes,
wasn't he?
yeah.
That's the best one so far.
I think so, but wait, there's more. Steak knives and everything. Our motivational attaché, Uncle Reg, who's back on our show each week here on the Grill Team, he had this a few years back. Wow, that was number 9 back in the charts when they mattered. Like the old charts.
A top 10
top
hit
10
for
hit.
Reg Reagan.
Amazing. It was number 1 in New South Wales and number 60 in Adelaide.
So Reggie couldn't quite retire off that one, though?
No, he couldn't quite. Just couldn't quite get there.
And lastly, our favourite boxer, Manny Pacquiao, the Philippines boxing star. He actually has got a good voice.
Sometimes when we touch, the honesty
Well, maybe.
I like it.
and I have to close my eyes.
Okay.
Foreigner. Not Manny Pacquiao, that's who's saying it.
That all you got, MG?
Well, there's a big grown cow
That's
and we're walking
racist,
down
mate.
the beach. I'll see my cow and the cow gave a reach.
There's just nothing.
Oh, my goodness.
There's nothing more pathetic than washed-up old sportsmen having a go at singing. Is there?
here we
Gus?
go.
No, there just
No.
isn't.
Mark Geyer.
To be alive, to be alive. Wow. It's good to be alive, be alive, to be alive. Ready? It's good to be alive. It is. It's great to be alive.
Matthew Johns.
Patrick Hernandez.
Is Matthew Johns.
Did you ever know you're my hero?
Yes, and we said it at the previous break that the lead singer of Chocolate Starfish is Brown Bread. He's Gonski. Well, we've got Ash from Penrith on the line. He's got a bit of mail. Hey, Ash, how you doing?
G'day, boys. How's it going, gents?
Yeah, good,
Mate,
mate.
we're doing well. Now, you got some mail.
On Adam Thompson.
Adam Thompson is alive and well. I watched him. Can I give a friend business a plug if that's all right?
Absolutely.
Yep, he just opened up a new cafe called 2773 in Glenbrook.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he had him up there playing at sort of an opening for family and friends there maybe 2 weeks ago, and he's killing it.
Beautiful.
Good.
That's good.
Man,
You had him dead, Matty.
Well, there you go. Ash, really appreciate that. Adam Thompson and the family. Look, if you know Adam Thompson or you're related to him, just letting you know he's not dead. He's alive. So really, I apologise about that.
I've been told their guitarist is dead from Chocolate Starfish.
Oh, really?
I want to be. So if you're in the car, maybe honk the horn for the guitarist.
Yeah, can we go all together on 1, 2, 3? Give him a bit. Go.
You know him from Studio 10 and, of course, the new TripleM Drive show with Matt Tilley.
The Daily Telegraph.
Joe Hildebrand is here. Hello, Joe.
Gentlemen, how are you?
Yes.
How's afternoons going, Joe?
Look,
sounding good, brother.
Afternoon's going very well. Thank you very much. Yeah, we're big in Adelaide, as they say.
Yeah, City of Churches.
Yeah, very big, very big. City of Churches, they just can't get enough. I think we're on between 1 a.m. and 3 a.m. over there, so it's for people who are driving home very late.
Yeah, Joe, the other big thing at the moment is checkbook journalism.
Yes.
Of course, the
yes.
Chappelle Corby $2 million, but also, firstly, let's talk about the Simon Catani situation, where the big Sunday night show, the lead into In Excess, Rachel Louise, she was paid $150,000. Apparently, the mother, Joan Hurren, was paid, which I have absolutely no problem at all about that, and the counsellor was paid as well. Your overall thoughts about that?
Well, I remember, the good old days when you could just, buy whatever story you want. As long as, you went to the highest bidder, everyone was happy, you know? Like, if you're rich, you're innocent. If you're poor, you did it. That's the kind of journalism I grew up in.
And that's the justice you're after.
Yeah, that's right. And then we went through a sort of unbecoming phase where we had to go around and dig out stories ourselves, find out, the truth.
What, to investigate?
Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
Chappelle Corby, there's been a lot of drama.
birds.
I mean, we've heard the $2 million. It's rubbed people up the wrong way. Let's firstly hear from David Koch.
I reckon we should have nothing to do with her as a network. Totally disagree with paying a convicted drug smuggler $2 million. I know Indonesia's corrupt and all that sort of stuff, but, she's convicted, so why pay the money? Anyway.
Kosh, I remember the Beaconsfield Miners come out there, just about all but gave him a Hummer. And he came out, but, I mean, they weren't convicted, the criminals, all the rest of it.
They gave each other one down there.
No, but the Chappelle Corby situation, what do you think here, Joe?
Well, look, it's very tough for Koshy because the $2 million that Channel 7's paying Chappelle technically comes out of his salary. So he's only going to have
Koshy's salary.
He's only going to have 3 or 4 left after that. But it's a pretty good point, isn't it? Because she's a crook, unlike the miners who also came out of a hole, but not the one in Bali.
Yeah, that's true.
And you have to wonder, well, why are we throwing money at it? But I mean, everyone can obviously just not watch, and fat chance of that happening. I reckon, though, the real story is the photograph of Chappelle that's come out, not from Channel 7 and New Idea, who's its magazine partner, but from its arch rival, Woman's Day, which we blew open yesterday afternoon on the show. I reckon that has just cost, you've heard, there's the face that launched 1,000 ships, or in the case of Chappelle Corby, the face that launched 4,000 grams of marijuana. But this pic could have cost, Boogie Board sales are through the roof. And does she get hers back now or what? No one can answer this question. Does she get her Boogie Board back? I digress.
Mercedes has got it.
I reckon that picture that Woman's Day got from someone taking an iPhone photo of her. It's like, hey, Chappelle, smile. Oh, okay.
And bang.
I reckon that's cost them $1 million.
What beer was she drinking? What beer was she drinking, I wonder?
It was Corona, and I reckon they'll be signing her up for an endorsement.
Big time.
Yeah, she'll be on Dancing with the Stars, Bali.
I can hear a reggae song coming out from Chappelle.
Joe Hildebrand is here with us. Joe, with this radio gig, your third job now, you'd be a charitable guy. Do you give much away?
I live to give.
Yeah, good on you,
I live
buddy.
to give, that's right, yeah. But what I'm sick of, you know what? This whole, billionaires, like Mark Zuckerberg, billionaires giving away billions of dollars.
Where did he get? Is he the Facebook bloke?
Yeah, he's the guy who either invented or stole Facebook, depending on which biopic you saw.
Yeah.
But so he's now given away $1 billion to charity this year.
So would that be for tax purposes, or is he just...
It's a tax write-off.
Is he just generous?
Whatever. Well, the thing, he's got $19 billion, right?
Bit of both, surely. You've got to give him a bit of credit.
Oh, come on. Whatever. It's like first Bill Gates is giving away $1 billion, then Warren Buffett's giving away $1 billion. It's just a dick-swinging competition now, quite frankly.
It's interesting to say about charity. We had the Supergrass on last week, Joe, and I'm interested in your thoughts here. There was talk, there's a school of thought coming out now that the old charity thing is just a big gravy train. There was a story that Supergrass came out and said there's a well-known charity where the guy is paying himself $750,000 a year.
Holy moly.
And paying his wife $200,000 a year, and they just do nothing but fly first class.
There's a mill.
I mean, this is, with charity, it makes you wonder when someone stands there with their hand out and you give it to a charity, if it is actually getting there.
Well, that's the greatest thing about charity is how much of every dollar is actually going to the reason you're giving the money over and stuff. And no one can really ever tell you exactly how much.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, some are better than others. Like they do have things where they audit them now, and they will actually find that out for you. But who's going to sort of go and do that? But it is an excellent thing to give money to charity, and everyone should do it. And blah 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 blah. What I think though, Mark Zuckerberg, he's got $19 billion, right? Well, surely you don't. Once you got the first billion, you're pretty much set.
You
really need the next 18.
If he's fair dinkum, he'd give $10 billion away.
Give the whole lot away. That's right.
He's a grub.
It would be. He's a grub, mate.
I tell you what he should do.
He's corrupting our kids' lives with Facebook, on your life with Facebook.
I tell you what he should do.
He's a corruption artist.
Of course, he should give money to Qantas. I tell you, they need to.
Yes, that's right. Poor old Qantas is still struggling. And now, just when they thought that life couldn't get any worse for poor old Qantas and Alan Joyce, Richard Branson, the hair that talks, the lion that roared, has come in and said that Qantas is in quote unquote, and mums cover your ears, deep shit.
Shivers.
And it's like that, I don't know. I'm no businessman. apparently
that's not good. That means a lot.
That's like finance mumbo jumbo.
That's business world for concrete boots.
But as we're starting to see now, we're starting to face a reality. Holden rolls over, Toyota in Australia rolls over. Now we're looking at a situation where Qantas may be in a fair bit of peril as well.
Yeah, well, the regional airline Rex, their chief operating officer came out this week and said basically the same thing. He said, we're rooted.
Wow.
We can't afford to keep operating. So that's it. There's no cars, no planes.
So what about Richard Branson? What's his stats these days? Has he still got his own island on Majorca or something?
Yeah. I think they're called the Virgin Islands.
Mallorca. It's Silent J.
He's got his own island. No, he's absolutely sweet as a nut.
Well, why does Virgin run okay? Why is Virgin making a profit and Qantas can't?
Basically because Richard Branson has so many deep pockets. He can just sort of bankroll this stuff. So Virgin was able to undercut Qantas when it came to Australia, and he was able to just throw money at it. And so it would just keep, operating cheaper and it'd be subsidised by his overseas operations. And then once it forced down everyone to their level, now Virgin's sort of jacked up its brand a bit. There's a bit more.
Grill Team's Sports All In.
Angus, time for the Sports All In.
Thank you very much, Pagey. Yeah, the NRL have made some shocking decisions when it comes to who's going to be the face of league over the last few years. Brett Stewart, all sorts of drama around him. Then Ben Barber, all sorts of drama around him. And, of course, Benji Marshall, all sorts of drama around him. So 3 out of 3, no good. But this year, they've gone with Anthony Minicello. He's in his 14th season. He just skipped the Roosters to the premiership. Everyone loves him, even blokes from other clubs. The NRL have got it right at last. Big tick to you.
Is it a curse?
It's not a curse, mate.
Maybe it's
Well, if it is a curse, it'll be broken with Mini.
He's one of the great guys. Well done, the NRL.
Absolutely.
I can't believe I'm talking about this, but tonight, the Test match, cricket, Australia v South Africa.
You're talking about cricket?
I can't believe. I haven't been this pumped about a cricket match for a long, long time. It's the best bowling attacks in the world at each other's throat on a grassy pitch. I love the look of both this. I can't wait for it tonight. But Cricket Australia have erred in picking their 2020 side by leaving out young Chris Lynn from Queensland. He's the number one batsman in 2020 at the moment, and they've picked Brad Hodge, who could be his dad.
My word, I'm hearing he is his dad. There, guys, there may be a big twist coming in the Sam Burgess situation. Of course, Sam Burgess has been offered up to $2 million a year to join rugby union in England. Well, Marwan Kukash, he's the billionaire Palestinian refugee now living in England, and he's the new owner of the Salford Red Devils. Now, he is telling anyone who will listen that he's going in big time for Sam Burgess. He doesn't want him for next year. He wants him for this year. He wants to make Sam Burgess an offer he can't refuse. You might remember Kukash come out last year. We spoke to him when the Melbourne Cup was on. He had Mount Athos in the Melbourne Cup. He came out, while he was out in Australia, he met with Sonny Bill Williams and tried to persuade him to get to the Salford Red Devils. He met with Billy Slater's management, tried to get him away. He's got his eyes set on Sam Burgess, so who knows? Sammy Burgess, well, he's in demand.
Boys, I was in a cab the other day in Melbourne, actually, and I got into the cab, and straight away I had that sort of, oh, mate, this bloke either hasn't had a shower or he hasn't stuck the old Norska underneath the armpits for a little while. So I had a 15-minute run from the city. As I left, I had a little hand-on luggage. I just unzipped, got my Norska out and just popped it on the front seat. Said, mate, do yourself a favour and give yourself a spray. Now, it didn't go down particularly well, but I'm sick of getting in the cabs
You know, they're our little chariots, aren't they? We're paying for it. It's not a freebie.
It's not a chariot.
I am paying to go from A to B. I want to do
a set of Ben-Hur or something.
I would like to do it without the stench. Is that too much to ask?
No, Gus, I'm with you 100%. I jump in some of those cabs at the airport and dead set, it's like they've been like a sack of squirrels in there. It's just it's shocking.
They're that bad. Well, we're going to go now to a bloke called Steve. He is a cabbie and he's going to give us a bit of inside information on it. Good morning to you, Steve.
G'day, boys. How are you?
Hey, Steve.
Mate, we're going to talk to you about a few different things, but let's start on hygiene. How come so many cab drivers stink?
Mate, I think the problem is they're doing these 12-hour shifts, and I mean they're driving all day. They don't get out much, and they just some of these guys, and I don't know if it's religious or they just don't believe in deodorant, which makes me sick too. You know, these guys are going around. There's not much you can do about it other than the fact that you can dob them in. But who's going to be bothered writing a letter, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Who's going to dob them in?
What authority do you go to?
Look, you ring New South Wales. Anytime you get in a taxi, and this is what no one really seems to know. Anytime you have any complaint about any kind of taxi service, and look, it happens all the time. Taxi drivers pick and choose what they want to do. There's a little card that has their photo. You know, on the front of they got like a little driver's authority card. You threaten those boys to listen, guys. If you do the wrong thing, I'm going to ring the Ministry of Transport and I'm going to take your number down. And I guarantee you, they will pull their head in 2 seconds.
Okay.
Geez, I tell you what, Steve, I miss the good old days where you hop in a cab and you'd say, mate, I'm going to head here if you're in a strange town, and the cabbie'd say, okay, mate, where you from? Have a look over here. This is where you want to go for dinner. Over the left here, here's a bit of a historical factor. I jumped in a taxi about a year and a half ago, and I said to the bloke, mate, I'm going to the SCG, and he said, you'll have to guide me how to get there.
Please.
Mate, seriously, Steve, it's like the standards are lowering all the time. What do you have to do to get a taxi licence these days?
Not much, mate. To be honest, it's a short course. You don't really. There's lots of times I've heard of stories of guys they just pay for it. They don't even sit. They sit the course. They don't really speak much English. In their defence, look, it's a real double-edged sword. This industry. You've got to understand that it's a job that no one really wants to do either. I mean, the pay is just absolutely pathetic if you're just a driver. You know, because anywhere between 25 to 40 grand a year. It's they're getting $9-10 an hour, and they've got to put up with rubbish themselves.
What sort of stuff you had to put up with in the past, Steve?
Oh, mate, full punch-ups, bit of nudity. If it's female, it's not too bad, I suppose. But other than that, it's the runoffs are the worst. I mean, you've drove, and I mean, if you're at Penrith, I've done that many trips from the city to Penrith, and you get there, and they'll put you in a little cul-de-sac, and you're thinking, oh, this isn't looking good. Next thing, they'll run off through the alleyway.
Wow. Sorry, mate.
Yeah, you still owe me that, aren't you?
Hey, Steve, what about some of the people you've shared a cab ride with or you've driven? Who, like celebrities, who's the nicest person you've had in your cab, who's well known, and who's the biggest a-hole?
The nicest is Gary McDonald.
Oh, yeah, really? Okay.
Norman Gunston.
One of the loveliest blokes I've ever met in my life.
Oh, that's great.
Could not go out of his way any more than that. The biggest a-hole... Well, other than the unknowns that I don't really know, as far most of the celebrity guys I pick up are pretty good, actually.
You can say it, mate. He'll take it. Say it. We know.
There was a young guy from one of the home and away shows. I don't remember his name, but I know I took him there, and I remember seeing him on TV, and he was probably the worst.
What about this one? Have you ever been offered? People hadn't had money to a sexual favour for
no,
payment?
I haven't myself, but I have heard of. I am a good-looking young man, but other than that, no, you do get it from time to time. I've heard about it, but not myself. But and it does happen. Like those guys will. But then again, I've heard of more where the taxi drivers are offering it more than anything else.
Well,
and it's happened in the past.
You're talking about taxi drivers. We probably think we give them $50 cash, $70 cash or something. Probably that goes straight in their skyrocket and that sort of stuff. If let's say $100 fare from the city to the Northern Beaches, you're dropping me home, and I give you $100 in cash. How much are you taking out of that, Steve?
Well, it just depends how you've structured it. I mean, if you work for somebody, basically they get all the money gets handed in, and you'll get your pay. But if you lease, say for example, you can. Well, if you own the plate, obviously it's all yours.
How much are they? How much are they just while you're on it?
They're around. If you got a plate, they're around 380,000, 400,000.
It's a lot of money, isn't it?
Well, it sounds like it, Gus. But the funny thing is, mate, if you compare it to an investment property, say for example, you bought a $400,000 house. What's your rent return? What, $400, $450 a week?
Yeah.
Now, if I was to buy a plate in a car, I could lease that back for $1,200 a week.
Wow!
Oh, now you got us thinking, Steve.
Yeah, mate, I'm telling you, if you're an owner, if you're an owner, you are in the job.
Hey, Steve, I really appreciate your time this morning, and mate, don't be a stranger. I tell you what, anything goes on in the streets in Sydney, we'd love to touch base with you, mate.
Yeah, mate. I'll give you a call anytime.
13353. We want your opinion on the Simon Catani sentence yesterday. A minimum of 18 years, a maximum of 26. Let's remind ourselves he threw his fiancée Lisa Harnham off a high-rise balcony. Mate, this bloke's had a history of criminal activity, a history of violence. He once bit a police officer's ear off, and all things considered, I thought he would have got possibly 30 to 40 years. Lisa Harnham, she saw the murder coming. She'd told her mother about Catani's violent outbursts and his possessive nature, and her fears were realised soon afterwards when she told her mother that basically gave the details of a counsellor, says if anything happens to me, get in touch with her. And shortly afterwards, he threw Lisa off a balcony to her death. And yesterday, Catani, as I said, minimum of 18 years. He can be back on the streets in 18 years. I think he got off light. There's talk that he is going to appeal that. I think the DPP should appeal and should go for a stiffer sentence. But that's my opinion. I'd love to hear yours. And we're joined by Hugh Finane now in the studio. And Hugh, I believe, it was a bit of a circus here yesterday again.
Yeah, boys, it sure was. In turning up, we were kind of expecting the main players to be there. So Lisa Harnham's family, for Catani's girlfriend, who we all know, be Rachel Louise.
Yep.
No sign of them. And there's a reason for that, because they're stitched up with a deal which is stopping them from speaking. So they weren't there. The public gallery was absolutely packed. The public interest in this, and of course the media interest, is huge. So it was just ironic to actually see the public gallery up top packed to the rafters, the media gallery packed to the rafters, and there where you had the families, it was pretty vacant all around. Like Catani had his immediate family, parents and siblings.
What about when the judge made his ruling? What was the...
was there a cheer or a boo or a outcry?
There was definitely clapping from the public gallery. One of his sisters actually yelled out, in the name of Jesus Christ, you won't be serving a day of this. And
his sister said that?
Yeah, and she was straight away, marched straight out.
Wow.
And the Justice, Lucy McCullum, continued on with her sentencing and gave the 26 years. And then someone from up above actually called out, off the balcony you will go.
Yeah, that's right to him. Yeah,
well,
you're getting yours.
What do you think, MG? Do you think it was light? Do you think it was on the money? Do you think it was too much?
I'm thinking that got a lot of public recognition. This case. I'm not saying that was tainted in any way, but a lot of things considered, this is a good sentence. This is a sentence that should have been happening 1 to 5 years ago to other people. In fact,
you're happy in 18 years' time for Simon Catani to get out. I wonder what Joan Harnham, the mother, thinks about that. I wonder what she thinks about the sentence.
You know what? I was worried, Matty, that we were going to get like a 4 to 8 year sentence, like those coward hits. That's what I was thinking. Well, so once I heard over 15 years and maybe 26, I thought, that's something at least.
The one thing is the minimum. As soon as he was charged with murder, the minimum is 20 years as a maximum, and so that is the precedent that.
So he got 26 years, didn't he?
Yeah, and the one thing that Justice did actually state was, and she was very thorough. It was great. It only took an hour, but she was very thorough and said that she couldn't say that it was premeditated because it was just simply that
rage.
It was the rage, and seeing that on tape of that last 60 seconds of her life,
shocking,
and just going, look, that's what I got to work off, and it seems that he might have just snapped. And we've seen the history of his violence. Oh, yeah. But he snapped, and it was in that moment that she believes that's when it happened.
Well, before we have the callers, Mark Fuller at Mildo23 sent us through a tweet. What I find hard to stomach with the Catani case is that the judge came out and said a life sentence would be excessive. Got to say, I agree with you, Mark. Carol from Canterbury. Hey, Carol, what's your thoughts on
Morning,
this?
Morning, guys.
Hey,
Carol.
I think it's too light. Why should that animal get a roof over his head and 3 meals a day when he's taken a life?
Yeah. So you want the death penalty, do you, Carol?
Well, if we could bring it back in, why not?
Yeah, well, that's out of the question now. But I'm a little bit, Carol. I think 18 years. I mean, think ahead in 18 years' time. Are you comfortable with this guy to get out? I mean, this young lady's had her whole life just taken away from her.
Of course, and you can't take away from that tragedy. But 18 years is a long time, though.
But he'd be 58. Yeah. I mean, that's what Matty's saying. That's it for their family, the Harnhams.
He's got a lot of life left after that.
What about Paul and Mark's point? What do you think, Paul?
G'day, boys. Mate, that maggot got off way too light. He, considering the judge has said he's got little chance for rehabilitation, what's the point of letting him out?
That's right.
You know,
spot on.
Prison is for rehabilitation, and if he can't be rehabilitated, just lethal injection is one thing. As we know, nothing like that will happen. But lock him up and throw away the key.
And Paul, the interesting thing about this is, I mean, yes, they've said it. It was hard to say it was premeditated, but he's got a history of violence in the past. And once again, I remind you. He grabbed a police officer and basically bit his ear off.
That was when he was 20. He was only 21 when he did that. So
Let's go to Sally now in Engadine. G'day, Sal.
Oh, hi, how you going?
Hi, Sal.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's too light myself. I actually saw the footage just after that they showed him getting in the lift, and the body language was all there that something wasn't right. You know, he put his hands up to his head and like, oh my gosh, you know, he's done. You could tell that he.
What have I done? He's like, what have I done?
Yeah. There's no doubt,
exactly.
Sally.
You could just tell, and like having a teenage daughter myself, and my husband would honestly, he'd kill him. He said he wouldn't go to jail; he'd be dead before he got there. So,
appreciate that, Sal.
Sort of thing. It's so sad, isn't it?
That was very sad.
Sal, it's tragic, absolutely tragic. Our heart goes out to the Harnham family. Sal, appreciate your call. Hugh,
well
thanks
done,
for your
Huey.
time.
Thanks, boys.
And Sam Rubin, he's our international entertainment reporter. When he caused all sorts of outcry yesterday, he was interviewing Samuel L. Jackson, but he got him mistaken with Lawrence Fishbone. Let me play the audio. Fishburne.
Yeah. Jeez, what an idiot.
Yeah, what an idiot to get that wrong.
Here's what happened.
Did you get a lot of reaction to that Super Bowl commercial?
What Super Bowl commercial?
Oh, you know what? My mistake.
See what? Right. I'm not Lawrence Fishburne. We don't all look alike.
Father, you're
we may be all black and famous.
You
but
are
we all don't look
guilty.
alike.
I am guilty.
You're the entertainment reporter.
I know.
You're the entertainment reporter for this station.
Flog.
And you don't know the difference between me and Lawrence Fishburne?
My mistake. My mistake. I apologize. Let's talk about RoboCop.
Oh, hell no. Really?
Really?
Wow.
Now, do you think Samuel L. Jackson might have been a little bit precious there? I mean, he made a mistake.
Yeah.
He
was recalling an
apologised,
old movie,
but
wasn't
Samuel just went on and on.
It reflected poorly on Samuel L. Jackson rather than Sammy Rubin.
I think so.
I mean, Sam, I'll be honest with you. I'm mistaken Samuel L. Jackson and Lawrence Fishburne all the time.
Yep.
I do it all the time. It's got nothing to do with race, religion or colour. Got nothing to do with it at all. They just look so similar. I saw some other examples. Adam Hills and Will Anderson.
Yeah, they get often, mistaken.
Because they're a couple of honkies?
Yeah,
What is it?
Comedians.
Like Andrew Roachford and Chris Brown. Dr. Chris Brown. Will Ferrell and with the Red Hot Chili Peppers drummer, Chad Smith.
Dead ringers.
Identical.
Dead ringers.
Yeah. I get mistaken for guess who I was walking down the Manly Corso the other day and I took great offence. Guess who someone said to me I look like?
Ando.
Andrew Johns.
Ando, you're right. I get mistaken for him, but it wasn't that.
Andrew Johns?
No, Shinji Ono.
Shinji Ono.
Is he not Japanese?
He's a Japanese
plays for the
Sydney
Wanderers. Yeah, I'd like to bring him in one day.
You
And
did
I might go play for the Wanderers.
You did have your Wanderers jersey on. That was.
And like you, Gus, people say to me all the time, you look like John Goodman and John Candy and Rosie O'Donnell and Chaz Bono.
And Ian Hewitson. Yeah, we have the man in question online, as always, our correspondent from the US of A, Sammy Rubin. Sammy, g'day, brother.
Hi, friends. How are you guys?
Oh, hey, Sammy, we're doing well, man.
More importantly, how are you, mate, after yesterday?
You know what? I tell you what, it's gotten extraordinary attention. I think it's been seen hundreds of thousands of times. But I don't know. It wasn't so terrible. I mean, what's interesting is I guess you don't want to be characterized as a guy, who made this colossal error on TV. But if you look at the tape, he's kind of smiling and laughing the whole time. I mean, he's not happy, but he's not livid.
Yeah. You know what, Sam? You didn't make that big a mistake, mate, at the end of the day. You just made a mistake. It wasn't that big a deal. And I honestly believe that Samuel L. just got himself a little bit in a tiz there. You apologised straight away. Should have moved on.
Right. Well, yeah, exactly right. And that was during the Super Bowl. Funnily enough, it always makes for good radio. I'm literally walking past a huge construction site at Hollywood and Vine, so nonetheless, forget all the noise. But in any event, the Super Bowl spots, feature one for Captain America, the movie that he was in. And it's a weird thing. I thought that's what we were talking about. Yeah. He immediately jumped to this thing where he thought I was, Lawrence Fishburne, and I just sort of let it go. I maybe should have had more of a fight in me, but it really makes for a very compelling video. Yeah. And I guess I'm cringing a little bit, but it's it's Sammy, not so terrible. What's interesting though is just the degree of attention it's gotten.
Well, Sammy, I'll be honest with you, we just spoke about it before. I think it reflects poorly on Samuel L. Jackson. Here's some news for Samuel L. Jackson. He and Lawrence Fishburne look alike. Yeah. I've mistaken them all the time, and it's got nothing to do with race, religion, or colour. They just look alike.
Yeah.
People do sometimes.
Well, it's funny. Ricky Gervais in that show Extras has a scene which features Samuel L. Jackson, where he is mistaken for Lawrence Fishburne. It's it's a fictional scene. It's a script, but
yeah, man, come on, hey. Sam, mate, you're always really generous with your time. And when we saw it yesterday, we thought, well, man, any publicity is good publicity. Well done to you.
Thank you so much. It's gone global.
Well done, Sam. Thank you. That's our man Sam Rubin in Hollywood.
Last year you got Tom and George Burgess mixed up. That was a bit of a no-no.
Did I?
Yeah.
Are they the twins? They look identical, don't they?
Well, one of them.
Well, not really.
On, but,
One's
you
a
can
bit
see
bigger.
the video of Sammy Rubin.
That was a nude selfie. Sorry, forgot.
Well, this is news up there with where were you when you heard that Sydney had got the Olympic Games for 2000? Well, guess what, people? Get ready for this. Gus Wallen's got a new car. That's right, people. Got a brand new car. And Gus told the producers that he wanted to talk about it so he could mention all the positive feedback you've been getting while you've been in the car, Gus.
Yeah, very positive feedback, mate, especially from the young ladies. Nothing but positive thoughts. And
when you say young, so you've been driving past schools again.
People shout out at this car. People drive up to you and go, hey, buddy, nice car. People give you the thumbs up. People give you the good on your champion.
Producers,
it really is that special.
Now, producers, you've said basically you want to talk about it on air. Now, producers have focused on to what you're doing.
Yeah.
You said that you want to get on there and just plug it so you can maybe keep the car for another 6 months. Now, they said to me, let's record it, okay, which we recorded this yesterday, people. And every time you try to plug the car, we're going to put a revving engine sound effect over the top of it.
There you go.
Because technically, mate, what you're trying to do is cash for comment. Mate, you are being fraudulent.
Lawsy
Righto.
Jones, you went for that, brother. If you didn't know.
Well, let's have a listen. What are you driving at the moment?
It is a beautiful car. It's a car. It's which retails at about $278,000.
Wow.
I did some work with the England Cricket Board, who were sponsored by during the Ashes. So as payment, they gave me a car for a few months.
Wow.
So I am now driving this beautiful
MG,
quite incredible.
When you're a young kid growing up in Mount Druitt, if someone told you that one day you would work with someone who drove a, what would you say?
No way.
There's
no way.
When did you leave us behind, champ?
Well, they have the top down a lot. The weather's been great in Sydney.
You're telling me
lately.
it's a...
and you know what?
Oh, wow.
You can go
fat face blowing in the wind.
you can actually slow down to 50 k's an hour and take the top either on or off. So I've been driving around with my shirt off, with the top off, right?
You never have your shirt off.
I do, mate.
Like sitting in the back seat driving, of course.
Yeah. There's no back seat, of course, only a two-seater. The ladies, they are loving it. They're loving the big man.
Example?
Well, I was driving along the other day in Narrabeen, and a bird just drove along beside me and gave it that, whoo-hoo, looking good, like that. I was like, oh, thanks very much.
What was it, Letitia? Was that her name? Hey, look good, bro.
LaFonda? What's her name, LaFonda?
Well, that's your side of the story. What we've done, we've dragged out an old favourite, the thought predictor. So here's what people were really thinking as you drove, or should I say, wobbled past.
Is that guy pregnant or just fat?
The suspension's struggling under the weight of this guy.
Either the tyres are flat or that bloke weighs 300 kegs.
Jeez, that guy's got great tits.
How does that bloke fit into a convertible?
Is that John Candy driving that car?
Look at him jiggle when he goes over those bumps.
Ian Hewitson has a nice set of wheels.
Is he the guy from Healthy, Wealthy and Wise?
Why has that fat lesbian not got a shirt on?
Why are people so unkind? That's what I should be thinking.
That's what happens when you're trying to catch for comment. That's the thing.
Can I say what car it is now? At least something?
No.
The Grill Team.
Hey, fellas. Paul McCartney's ex. What's the name again? Heather Mills, that's her. Mate, did you know she's got one leg?
The Grill Team always last with celebrity gossip.
Yeah, the lead singer of Go West, Adam Hills, have one leg as well.
TripleM breakfast.
It's 19 to 9 on the Grill Team as we get ready to check some tweets.
Come on, it's time to check the tweets.
At the Grill Team, you can get us any time on Twitter and, oh boy, I don't know if I should even read this one out, but at TLDEL tweets. Will Gus do jokes on Shirley Temple passing away? Of course.
Come on.
Shirley Temple
Shirley Temple
died.
was a superb child actress. She was brilliant when she was sort of 5, 6, 7 years old.
She was the face of the Depression. She made everyone feel good because
she made people depressed.
This bubbly little girl made people's lives change.
With the curly little hair.
Don't tell jokes on her.
Well, Shirley Temple has died aged 85, 80 years past her use by date.
Wow, man,
that'll be the last time
2 out of
Shirley
10.
Temple curls up then to the curly hair.
No one's laughing, but
I've had a tough day, mate. I feel like a stiff one. Give me a Shirley Temple.
Actually, that's not bad.
Last one's good.
MG's gone.
He just got it. At Belly Flower.
No, I didn't.
Can Miranda Kerr's
shit.
Can Miranda Kerr's parents get a grip? Kids grow up and leave home, they get a life. Look, Miranda Kerr's parents pretty much gone on TV last night on the ABC and almost bagged Miranda for not being home for over 12 months. Here's a bit of the audio from her.
Miranda's life is so different now. She's surrounded by yes people all the time. It's so important for me to be real, to be true, to be who she needs me to be.
See, the music in the background there makes it more dramatic. But I know I went through my time that I didn't see my mum and dad for about 12 months, and if they ever went on TV and said something like that about me, that'd be the end of our relationship. They would never do it.
Aren't we relieved that the ABC are delving into the affairs of the Kerr family? Isn't it good stuff from the ABC?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
You're going, really? I mean,
surely Mrs. Kerr could ring up and just talk to her daughter and say, you know what, I wouldn't mind seeing you. Or just keep that private.
These parents who try and get...
You know what? Who cares anyway?
I don't.
If Miranda's moved on, she's left the family behind, well, good luck to her.
But I don't think she thinks she has. She's been overseas working.
She's busy.
She's been married to Orlando Bloom.
Yeah, Bloomy.
She's been married to Orlando Bloom. How dare she?
Isn't she going out with Packer or someone like that? Kerr?
Which one?
Miranda Kerr and James Packer is the rumour.
Isn't that,
oh, really? Mate, the grilled team always last with celebrity gossip.
At Jerry W12 has tweeted us, apparently Queensland's in the midst of a man drought. This is for the single guys. Townsville, Rockhampton, Cairns and Mount Isa have a shortage of men between 18 and 35.
There's a shortage of men in Brisbane as well. There might be some males around, but no men.
Well, there's not a shortage of men, but
Origin time there is.
Shortage
they go right in Origin.
Just shortage of real men.
That's right.
Well, our hillbilly producer, Matthew O'Reilly, is from Longreach in Queensland. Do you reckon is it that quality of man that is the problem?
Quality of man's not going to help anyone.
So we're the same page.
I said to him once, I said, mate, the dentist in Longreach, he'd be the hardest working bloke in town. He said, what's a dentist?
Sex and drugs and rock and roll.
Yeah, it's the program director here at TripleM.
It's all my brain and body need.
His name's Jamie Angel. Hello, Jamie.
Hey, G.
Hey, mate, how are you?
Hey, mate, heard you and Matty went and saw Wolf Creek 2 yesterday.
Yeah.
What was it like?
Mate, it was terrific.
Yeah. Here it's pretty spooky.
Yeah, better than the original, I thought.
Bloody hate scary movies, mate.
Yeah.
Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, Halloween, the Paris Hilton sex tape. Sick, scary stuff.
Yeah.
Mate, anyone have noted the screening yesterday?
No, we didn't see David and Margaret. There was the guys from the Today FM show, American Jules, were there.
Oh, Pagey, I said anyone of note, not any dopes there. Those blokes are just... crook. M3, mate, hey. Yeah. Threatened anyone in the last few days?
Oh, Daddy, there was a bit of a road rage yesterday, but apart from that, no.
Yeah, I'd like to say I haven't. But put a couple of commentaries in their place yesterday, bro. Yeah, it was nice to shake off the rust, get some of the old taekwondo moves out of the cupboard. The old angel of death was back in business. Fellas, I've got some news. I've adopted a foster child.
Oh, wow.
Poor kid grew up in Illinois Heights. Third world stuff. Tragic story. No male role model. Says his dad sits around all day feeding his face and pulling his pud watching the cricket. The kid's got an African name, Jack Warland. Shiver me timbers, that rings a bell, Pagey.
Yeah, Jamie, that's Gus's son.
Gus Warland.
Jack Warland. Yeah, it's Gus's son.
Pop him on.
Gus, it's for you.
G'day, Jamie.
Oh, g'day, Aussie. Welcome to Rock Bottom, cuz. Let me riddle you a question. You must be unbeatable at limbo, are you?
What? No?
Because I've never met anyone who can go so low. as if I haven't got enough on my plate at the moment. Juggling work, Mobsy, Lionel, a heroin addiction. But now I've had to adopt your young bloke.
What?
Because he's want for a strong male role model. I tell you what, he's a great kid, bruh. The bloody gem. He's a rare jewel. And all he wanted was a little love and affection. Sorry, what was that, Jack? What was that, son? Yeah. Oh, he said he resents how you used to smack him if he didn't get a half century in cricket. Geez, that's rough. If only you could be as tough on yourself. You get 5 runs in E grade, you carry on like you're in the Marble Huck. Sorry. What was that again? What was that again, son? Hey, good one. He asked how your girlfriend Jacko's going. He's a funny kid, funny the Merrick. Sorry. Oh, yeah, son, you really want me to say that? He said the Wolverine movie was as boring and had about as much depth as a thin and crispy pizza. Careful, Jack. I can hear him undoing his belt. Don't cry. You're a grub, mate. Hang on. There's someone at the door. Come in. Welcome. Yeah. Hey, guess who just turned up, digger?
I don't know who.
Scooby! Mate, your dog, he's got the imprint of the Daily Telegraph on his nose. He's tired of it.
You're a bastard.
Lionel, get the number for the RSPCA.
Yeah.
No, Lionel. No, that's the number for Narcotics Anonymous. Matty Page EMG!
Yes, Daddy.
Love you, Daddy.
Scooby shagging Angel's leg.
See you, boss. Thank you. It's the Grill Team on Triple M.
God, are you serious? I've just been handed an email. A little bit earlier, we did a thing about. I was talking about how we were talking about who people I look like. Anyway, I've just got a list of people are callers tweeting in saying who I look like, and mate, they've all got something in common. Anyway, because I said earlier that I get stopped in the street all the time. People say I look like Arndo. Yeah. Recently, I'm getting Shinji Ono quite a bit. Gus?
Yeah. You're doing your smile a lot.
In the show Happy Days, Arnold, there was 2 Arnolds, wasn't there? One was there was a Korean one who was also Mr. Miyagi in Karate Kid.
Yeah, which one do I want?
Yeah, like Mr. Miyagi in Karate Kid. You look a lot like him. You've never been seen in the same room.
I reckon you're a dead ringer for Craig Wing.
Okay. I've had that before.
You have.
Pagey?
From behind especially.
Jet Li from Lethal Weapon 4.
This is... okay, Em. Hey, Em, how you doing?
Daddy?
Hey, good show today, mate. You done really well. Hey,
Focus.
Is anyone you think I look like?
Jackie Chan?
Hillbilly.
Father?
You may as well have a go.
Yeah.
I reckon you're pretty close to Mr. Chow from The Hangover.
Woody, you're an expert in all things Oriental. Who do I look like?
North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un.
We crossing to Maroon?
Yeah, we're out.
Have a great day.
Hey, Maroon.
Yeah, mate. Funny thing is, like, most of the Sheilas round here reckon you're a good-looking sort. I reckon you look like the guy to Monkey Magic.
Yeah, think about angle. You want to?
You're all dead to me.
You've just heard a Triple M Grill Team podcast. Hear them from 6 to 9 a.m. weekdays on Triple M. The Triple M Grill Team podcast, introducing Amore at Macca's. Pick a meal and then add 2 sides from a range of choices. That's Amore.